Yeah.
Happy Hump Day, everybody, and welcome back to Brown Bag Bets, powered by BetSperts. We are your daily dose of quick and handicapping and sports betting picks. I'm Alex Christensen, and joining me, as always, Mr. Andy Molitor. And what is that hat? That looks like a new hat. I kind of like it.
I bought this for my wife, but then I just took it. I took it from her. It's just another waste management hat I got down
Oh,
there.
I like it.
It's like
That's
it's
cool.
like the Arizona, the Desert Sunset. It's a really good one. I like the one Drew got too, though. He got a big old freaking shit only he can pull off. The big old floppy hat. It was just really sunny
Sombrero.
out. He needed he needed some sun protection. Yes, it is Hump Day here. We are gambling. We had a fun one yesterday. Did you watch any? Maybe silly because there was a lot of tennis. Actually, there wasn't for a bit. I sat down, got to the
Rain.
Manarino. Who's Manarino playing?
Eubanks?
On the Eubanks, Manarino. Eubanks serving for the set, broken somewhat easily as Manarino just cranked it up, and then it just started raining. I got to watch one game of tennis essentially, and then they stopped play. They went to the warm up on the women's side. They stopped play, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm done watching sports for the night. I didn't actually watch the Wisconsin game. I guess I wish I would have. I don't understand, and this is like me serving it up on a platter for you, because you are a strong critic of college basketball at times, especially in the middle of the season. It's like, yes, it's a much worse product, which is just to say, like, hey, minor league baseball is a worse project than major league. It's the same thing, obviously. It makes sense, but Wisconsin went over 9 minutes without scoring to close the game. Like, it just feels like you
Not
would have
even
to.
mad. It's
I mean,
amazing.
you would just have to like accidentally get fouled. It's 9 minutes. That's a quarter of the game, per near. Like, how do you not accidentally at least shoot some fucking free throws? I mean, maybe I didn't even go and fact check if they missed 4 free throws in that stretch, but like it feels like an accomplishment to not score for 9 minutes in a game I believe you were favored in. That is
Yeah,
something. And then
it's
yes, UAB pushed the -2, and that was a good game. And congrats to Conference USA, who has both teams in this NIT final from the USA. So they will win the NIT title. They won the CBI title, and they have a Final Four team. So Conference USA, it is your time to shine. No one will remember this in a year and a half, but let's get excited about it now.
Uh, I could see not scoring a basket for 9 minutes, but not scoring any points. You can't draw a foul. You can't get in there and do anything. Like I'm pretty sure teams again have gone 8, 9, maybe even 10 minutes without a 3-pointer or a field goal. But to not even have one guy on your team that's like, all right, it's been 3 minutes, we haven't scored. Let's get it to a big guy and just turn around and get knocked over. Like we got to find some way to do something here. Or you take a guard and you just send him flying in there. It's just like, but that's
Yeah, just go if you go to the rack on like 8 straight possessions. You
you're getting a
what's
foul
your
free
what's
throw.
your median scoring? Like 7? Like you should have like 6 or 7 points
Yeah, like
just from
five or
some
six
fucking
points,
free
something like
throws. Yeah,
that. Like
I don't know.
I
It
don't know.
was it was a whole damn thing. So such is life. That's basketball. We're gonna do it again tonight. I didn't have a pick in this, but I will say my friends
A lot of
like
people like
UAB.
UAB.
Oh, that's tomorrow. It is tomorrow. So no games tonight. We're at that point where even the small, the
Is there
whatever,
no college
the
basketball
small
tonight?
tournaments are starting to wrap up. So no ball today. I'm seeing a lot of people giving out UAB -1.5,
Oh, there's ball.
-2 over North Texas. So maybe I'll join them on there. But tomorrow, a lot more than just the you know NIT final going on. We have Major League Baseball opening day. Matt's given you some features of the last few weeks, but especially, I don't know if NIT still plays a third place game, Brett. That's interesting.
You should.
The
I like
third
it.
place third place games have always been hilarious. Like in major soccer tournaments across the globe and in Europe, obviously the third place match just last week in golf, but like third place matches are so fun to watch sometimes where you see like one team or individual who just
I wish tennis had them.
does not. Oh my god, I was just gonna say, like, you should have these at major tennis tournaments. You should have this in the NFL. Can you imagine a third place NFL game? Just like, oh, you almost went to the
No one
Super
would
Bowl.
play. No one
Oh
would
my
show
god!
up.
Like, hey, do you guys want to try to get hurt, or hey, do you guys want to have concussions for no reason
Play
for third
7-on-7.
place? Yeah, but I don't know about the third place game. I have no idea. I'll fact check that tomorrow. Baseball, but more importantly, the Valero Texas Open, and I did make some outrights. I talked about them with Noonan yesterday. I'm just gonna. I don't even know if I put them in the Discord. I'm just trying to you know do those guys a favor. My outrights don't hit. Come damn close. I had a good one last week, and then he got vertigo, flamed out. I guess I should have bet Burns after he put him in the one and done. But a
It's
good
tough
week
golfing
for
with vertigo.
this is a good week for a dart. I mean, it's tough golfing. Golfing with
I can't
vertigo
believe
has
he
to be
keeps
miserable.
playing. Like
Yeah,
that's what I was saying to some of the people. Like he plays with vertigo. Like you said, it's hard enough to be balanced when your brain chemistry is right. Like,
yeah.
ugh.
Oh, that's I know. I think of Liza Minnelli on Arrested Development. That's like my only experience with like actual and that's just acting too. Good job, Liza. Valero, Texas Open outrights. These are the four I've bet so far. I don't think I'm adding any more. I love Siwoo, obviously, but he's pretty much the favorite to begin with. Hatton's super scary with the hand injury and the low price. So good week to take some shots. If you're the kind of guy who likes to take some shots on first round leader, this is a good week to play a 6-pack of those at big prices. Find some guys with some streaky putting and some good irons, maybe a little longer off the tee as you can take advantage of some of these holes in that spot. Not a true bomber's paradise, but like 3/4 bomber's paradise, maybe. Davis, Rye, Smalley, and Akshay Bacha. Baksha 110 to 1. Some places had him as high as 150 to 1.
You practiced that,
After
didn't you?
well, I mean Bacha's he's a guy we like. He's a guy you follow. And he's after a decent performance last week in the alt event, he had a stretch where he was like 7 under through 9 with a bogey in there or something. It was ridiculous. He can really get hot. There's places that up to 150 to 1, maybe still do on him. Alex Smalley's the guy I bet repeatedly, especially in this is not an alt event, but it's damn near an alt event kind of field with so many players just taking off and heading over to Augusta. 80 to 1 was way too much on him. Aaron Rye, Brett, I like him a bit at 60, not quite 60. Anyone who bets a bookmaker knows you do not get 60 to 1. You get plus 59.86 or something ridiculous. So that's how they like to do their outrights. And Mr. Cam Davis, I'm going to probably cheer for a Cam 2 weeks in a row with him and Mr. Smith next week. 50 to 1. That's another one I like. I think Noonan agreed on some of these. It's going to be a spot where you do need some guys who can find the greens because putting is going to be slow but still tricky. Like I said, bombers aren't going to be just living in the lap of luxury here, but it is advantageous on a few of the holes. So a guy that can piss rope it off the tee and keep it on the fairway is going to be kind of one of your better bets this week. So Valero Texas Open, it's happening. It feels like I don't know what the comparison was. What's a shitty 250 before like Wimbledon? This is like I don't want to dog on Eastbourne. That's a good
Yeah,
tournament.
that's true. I'm trying to
The
think of what
Boodle, it's the
Birmingham.
Boodles. Do you remember the
Birmingham.
Boodles? That was like an
Oh
exhibition.
God.
Yeah, that's not a real tournament guy, but yeah, this is Birmingham, guys, and not the good one that you see in Peaky Blinders. So,
Yeah, this is like Birmingham or like Palermo before the French Open, or
yeah, no, it's truly just kind of like it's an appetizer before you get your favorite meal of the entire year. So, all right, NBA, where I still need the Bulls to lose every single game from here on out. I
I
think they
feel
have
good
like
about that.
I think I had no chances happening. There's a lot they're going to be close or favorites in, but we did end up getting one of these homes. The Trailblazers will not finish above 500, so one NBA future for me in the books at this point, and a full slate. I'm trying to look at the standings now. The Timberwolves are so close to not being in the players, or excuse me, in the play-in tournament. What do you price that for me? Like Timberwolves to be 6th or higher. What do you think the odds are? I'm sure you looked at the schedule here or there.
I know that's. I'm gonna pull up the schedule real quick here. I mean, I think it's them, and I mean, honestly, Andy, they're only a game behind fifth. So you've got to
Yeah.
think about the Warriors. You've got to think about the Clippers. Um, it's plus something because I mean Golden State is a better team. The Clippers are a better team. They're going to generally be favored more. You know, I look for the Clippers the rest of the way. It's Memphis, New Orleans, Lakers, Portland, Phoenix. Now, John Morant's back. That's not the easiest schedule in the world. You look at the
Mm-mm.
Warriors here. They've only got 3 road games left. One is in Portland. That should be pretty easy. They've got a Sacramento team that might not be trying. Yeah, the Warriors schedule here. It's San Antonio, Denver, Oklahoma City, Sacramento, Portland. I mean, they're going to be prohibitive favorites in 3 of those games, probably short, pretty close to coin flips in the other 2. And then Minnesota, you look, Phoenix, Lakers, Trailblazers, Nets, Spurs, Pelicans, a little tougher than maybe what the Warriors offer. So, I mean, this game tonight against Phoenix is good. It's really important, but I'd say the Timberwolves are probably going to finish at 7th. My guess is they'd be like
Yeah.
plus 150 ish to get to 6, maybe not quite plus 200, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, that's fair. And saying, yeah, there's some pushovers. You have the Spurs, you have the Blazers, probably beat the Pelicans at home, but you also have the Suns, Lakers. It's a whole thing, and it appears that I do believe it is Warriors with a game. Warriors have played one extra game, so the Warriors only have 5 games left, I guess. Yeah, this will be interesting. Either way, I'm excited to watch the play-in tournament. One of my favorite things that a team is added, like anytime teams or excuse me, leagues add to their playoffs, it's usually not better. I fucking love the play-in. Like it's a fun
Then why
little
does
hey, let's do this.
why
Let's
does the
do this
Final
first.
Four of like the NCAA suck so much? I don't know. That bothers me. But you're right. I like the play-in tournament for the NBA, but the extra
Yeah. Oh
games
yeah.
they
The
added to the
first
bracket
four.
drive me nuts.
Yeah, the first four, it's like, it's fun because we get to gamble on something on like Tuesday and Wednesday night of that week. But otherwise, it's like, this is stupid. This was a terrible, dumb idea for no reason.
Ruined
Whereas
the
the playing
perfect
game
play.
is awesome. So, you know what? I'm cheering for the Wolves to be in the 7th. I want to see them hosting.
Back-to-back
Jesus,
play-in champs. Only
yeah,
team ever to
that
do
would
it.
be
Let's get it
something.
done.
Nobody would have ever done, and it would be like the Thunder. I mean, right now you'd be facing the baby Thunder. That'd be a fun match, actually. So, all right. Well, tonight, what are we doing? Anything with the Timberwolves?
10 games tonight. 3 of them I have bets in. Some quick thoughts on the others. The Mavericks 4-point underdogs in Philadelphia. Have to wait and see who's going to play. I expect Joel Embiid to play tonight. Maybe not James Harden. If Embiid's in, the Sixers should be able to crush this Dallas Mavericks team. They've had trouble with guys like Kyrie Irving before, but and Luka Doncic, and as good as those 2 guys could be, I mean, this Mavericks team is just a sinking ship. As I look at the standings, one of the things I was most surprised to see, they've finally fallen out. If the playoffs started tomorrow, the Mavericks are not even in the play-in tournament. They're done. So I'm gonna wait
I
and
just
see.
saw that too when I mentioned the Thunder. I was going to ask you, is it? It's maybe not as funny as the Lakers missing the playoffs that year, but to trade what they did for Kyrie midseason and not even make the play-in is objectively very funny.
It's not good.
Like
It's
very
not going to be
funny.
good.
I'm going to
Mark
cheer for
Cuban's
that.
gonna not be thrilled about that. But Houston Rockets, big underdogs in Brooklyn. Can't bet the Nets. Can't bet the Nets as double-digit favorites. Can't bet the Rockets on the road. So happy to skip that one. Thought about maybe an under in the Heat Knicks game, but 223. It's tough to know who's going to be playing for Miami. They're on a back-to-back here. Adebayo played a ton of minutes last night. Butler didn't play, so again, too much kind of in the air there. The Thunder, 11.5-point favorites over the Pistons. Lean towards the Pistons, lead towards maybe an under there. But again, I think Detroit actually with their big man might be able to do something. Just still not quite there yet. Grizzlies, Clippers. Grizzlies 4-point favorites at home. No Paul George. The Clippers need to see what Morant and all that status looks like. Again, the Grizzlies played last night, so tough to know what's going to happen there. And then the final game of the night, the Sacramento Kings are 14-point favorites in Portland. I came out with 17, but it's hard for me to tell what the edges look like at some of those big numbers because this is a game where Sacramento can win this game with their eyes closed. Like they don't really need to try too hard. So happy to skip that. But 3 bets I did make. We'll start with the Indiana Pacers. No Tyrese Halliburton, no Chris Duarte, no Buddy Hield. They do have Benedict Mathurin. Miles Turner is questionable, but there is little to no offense on this team. They go up tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks team, a division opponent that they have put up some big numbers without Tyrese Halliburton this year. I was pretty shocked. Halliburton hasn't played against the Bucks yet this season and won't. This will be the last time Indiana plays the Bucks defense looking much better over the last couple of weeks and really starting to tune themselves up. Again, the Pacers have really shut things down here. As you look, all the playoff teams basically are locked in, I believe, for the Eastern Conference. They're pretty close at this point. It'd be hard for Indiana to get in. So they've really shut things down, and their point totals continue to fly under unless they're playing a team like the Hawks or the Spurs or someone that's really going to try to push pace. And expect Milwaukee to have a really nice defensive effort tonight. They generally do very well, especially as big favorites, keeping these better teams under. So at this closer to 109, happy to take anything 112 or lower. Even 111.5 is probably fine. And then the Chicago Bulls, the aforementioned Bulls. And I know a lot of times I'd take the money line here instead of the +2, but I'm only looking at like +110, +115 on the money line. The spread here is 2. There's even some 2.5s popping up, but like the Bulls here, is underdogs at home against a Los Angeles Lakers team that, yes, is playing much better basketball, but this will be LeBron James' second game back. He is probable to play tonight, but I really just like the way this Bulls team has been playing basketball. If you look over the last couple of weeks, again, especially since they've made some significant changes to their starting lineup, again, about 3-4 weeks ago, they're the better team here, and they're at home. I mean, I have them as short favorites in this spot, so +2 looks really great. Again, you can take the money line if you want. Just thought +2 is a little better than the +10, +12 I was looking at. Again, +115 starting to pop. If you have +120, definitely grab that. But like the Bulls tonight, really any way you want. And then Timberwolves Suns. Your Minnesota Timberwolves go up against the Phoenix Suns, and happy to take an under here. And I was able to get, I guess, the peak of the market here. I'm looking at 235. That's fine. I had this kind of in the 230 range, started it closer to 228.5, 229 this morning. Tweak some things for Karl Anthony Towns. He's in. Looks like he's probable tonight. Again, generally a great over player here. But as I look at this Phoenix team, especially as they've shortened up the roster here to make that move for Kevin Durant, have really played at a much slower pace. The Timberwolves, even with Karl Anthony Towns in their last game, continue to be a little bit slow. Again, this just doesn't look like the Minnesota team we saw at the beginning of the year. Anthony Edwards has really taken over here, holds the ball a little bit more. The offense plays with a little more intentionality. Again, a little less pace here as I start to think about it. But again, my number started out here right around 230. As I look at the matchup, I think that there's a great chance of this maybe even going under that. So under 235, honestly, even under 234 looks okay. So Pacers team total under 112, really anything 111.5 or higher. Bulls plus anything, and then Timberwolves Suns anything 234 or higher. Going to take the under there.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tight in these I've just been kind of, as you've been talking, I've been looking at the standings a little more. It's really tight. Like the Mavericks have 37 wins, and the 4 seed Suns have 40 wins. That there's not a big gap still, but the Mavericks schedule fucking sucks. Like they played 2 pretty much top teams, especially the way the Kings have been playing lately. And you got the Heat. That's a playoff team. You got the Hawks are a playoff team. The Bulls are, technically in the play-in right now and playing very well. Like them missing the playoffs feels like, I don't want to say a stone cold lock, but it feels pretty good right now. So that'll be pretty funny for me as we go. Good for them. Good for them. Way to make that.
It's going to be wild.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving. What could have possibly gone wrong with that? So, draft odds. This is more of a.
I saw in the schedule. You're upset about this?
Yeah, this is more of a letter to the editor for the turd who spent $100,000 going to the Super Bowl and can't put up any odds. But then I never understood this, and I've worked at a lot of places, and I've seen waste, managerial incompetence, where it's like, hey, why are we doing this? Why are we using any sort of resources towards this project? And we can't get over-unders open on betting for the NFL draft right now. But they took the time and effort to put these running back markets up. First running back drafted, Bijan Robinson, minus 10,000.
Probably should be minus 100,000.
Yeah, I mean, you could add a couple zeros there. Like somebody to take Gibbs or Charbonnet over him would be just.
Charbonnet?
Bijan Robinson would probably have to be in prison on the day of the draft, like serving at least a year for that to happen, I would say. And then the other thing too is like the second running back drafted is Gibbs at minus 5,000. Like it's pretty well expected. These are the first 2. I'm not sure why they put markets up like this. Like this is one of those where if you want to put a market up, put third running back up. That's interesting. That's something people might actually have takes and I suppose then you're opening yourself up to somebody making a plus EV bet at that point that doesn't involve them laying hundreds of thousands of dollars to win a small amount on Bijan. But this is just sad. Like, come on, it's just letter to the editor. Put up over unders, guys. I want to do more draft content around that. I love betting into those. I like to gamble in the draft. You guys suck. This is today's show. Not
Dear affiliates, do a better job.
Yeah, not brought to you by Sportsbook today. Brought to you by it's brought to you by Paige. You can see under there running her Augusta contest.
Yeah, get into that. It's a free chance to hang out with Paige. What could be more fun than that?
I know it's the whole I can't win. I never win things like that.
Do we have to play golf? Can we do something else?
Like the amount of people that are going to be in the contest is I have no idea how many people, but I mean we capped it at a certain amount. But there's not going to be like 1 million people you have to beat, and essentially all you have to do is get a better score in the contest than Paige, and then you're thrown into a drawing to golf with her. I got to email some of the people that won the last one. Like, they just think you're fucking kidding. Like, no, okay. Like, hey, I'd like the one guy's like, can you? Yeah, I think I had to follow somebody on Instagram and like message him there to like confirm I wasn't just some scam bot or something. And I'm like, hey, I'm a person. So it was fun. I mean, I saw pictures, I saw videos of it. Reed, our CEO, even went with. It's kind of the advantages of being a CEO, I guess. He didn't have to win the contest to go along as he's just, someone has to be a chaperone I'll go with. So enter that. It's free. We're excited to work with Run Your Pool on this. And I think as soon as probably Sunday night or Monday, you can pick your golfers. It's just the tier thing where you pick one golfer from 6 tiers and lowest score wins. So good luck with that. If you do enter, again, it's free. And
to enter.
How's the weather?
The only chance you have of no chance is not entering. Otherwise,
yeah,
come on.
Yeah, just enter. It's free. It's fun.
Matt said it took him like 10 seconds.
Yeah. While you're over there, I mean, start a baseball contest. I entered a 0 through 13 pool. I like those quite a bit.
Those are fun.
I will be doing Baseball Survivor. I think that doesn't start till next week. Most Baseball Survivor weeks don't use this first half week as one of the weeks. So I'll look into that this weekend. And then how's the weather in Miami? Are we looking to get a full day of tennis in, or is it more regnant?
It's always tough to tell, as anyone knows. Florida, especially that far south, is always a little odd. But I looked early this morning. I'm going to double check right now. It looked okay. It seemed like we should have some tennis today. I don't think that'll be too big of an issue. So we'll see. And I agree. It was annoying. And I know Brett was giving you crap in the chat, but he does. He stays up till like 1 a.m. to watch this stuff. There might be some rain this afternoon. Ugh, it just changed. But he does. He actually stays up to watch this stuff. And if there's weather, it's not fun. I mean, you and I are old. You got to go to sleep.
I watched him warm up. That was enough for me. So.
There actually does look like there's going to be some rain tonight, so we'll see. This particular match, again, it may be affected as I start to look at this now. I don't know why I missed this morning. It didn't look like it was there. I must have been looking at the wrong thing. But either way, it looks like we'll have some rain tonight. So, we'll see how it goes. But a first set over here. We'll go stack it all the way up. And again, match is supposed to be at 7 o'clock tonight. I thought they had a roof here, but I guess based on yesterday, they do not, or it wasn't prepared. But maybe this match will get pushed back. Either way, Ekaterina Alexandrova, Petra Kvitova, just a perfect setup here for the first set overs that we like to play in. This would be a match that if I am up watching it, I'm going to play every set over. It's hard to find second set overs pre-match, but as you start to get live, 2 women that play just incredibly long sets, 7-5, 7-6. They do have a roof, but can't be closed, then they don't have a roof. What does that even mean? Oh, God. That really threw me off. Now I'm going to be thinking about that for the rest of the day. Tennis is stupid. But, first set over here just looks like a classic match where we should see a 7-5, a tiebreaker here at some point in the match. If you have yes tiebreaker odds, which is hard to find, I know our friends at Canby have those sometimes, go ahead. Bet that at anything. That should be plus 200 or better. Any number you can find there should really be good. So over 9.5, 10.5, 12.5 in the first set. Stack those all the way up. And then I mentioned yesterday, Andy, there is a little clay tournament. We've got a WTA 125K or a Challenger, depending on which book you look at. But San Luis Potosi down in South America, Mexico to be perfectly. I guess that's Central America. Or I guess it's Central North
It's
America.
North
How do we do
America.
that?
It
It
was
is
your.
North
We're
America.
we're,
You're right.
we're working our way up. I was gonna guess the Dominican, so I would have been off. I would have guessed
I didn't
Caribbean,
think it
but
was in Mexico either when I started, but apparently I
I
was.
think
But anyway,
Mexico is kind of putting itself on the map. It's having more. It seems like they're having more and more tennis tournaments lately.
actually, now that I look at it on a map, this may be north of Miami. It's hard to tell. Either way, we've got a fun little tournament, and they're playing on clay. So it's kind of one of those transition events. Clay season comes here after we finish some of these hardcourt events. And Tamara Zidansek, one of my favorite players to bet on clay, goes up against Kamila Rakimova. Rakimova had a nice little run through the last month or so of hardcourt season, kind of ramping herself back up. Curious to see what kind of form she'll have when we get back to hardcourts. But on clay, Zidansek, the much better player here. I had her closer to a minus 145, minus 150 favorite. So anything even minus 120, minus 125 or better looks pretty good. I expect her to win this match pretty comfortably. So that one will be, let me just double check the timing on that. That one is this evening, right around 5:30. So little dinner time tennis, and then weather if the weather holds, we'll have some post dinner tennis. You can have dessert, first set overs, and little Zidansek as your main meal.
Weather pending, guys. We can't control the weather. We can't control. Nobody can control anything in Florida, guys. That state's just out of control. Always has been. So, and yeah, we'll have to dig in. My theory on what Brett just said, because Brett is not an unreasonable person. He makes sense mostly. I've met him. It seems like
Maybe the
a guy
roof
who
is
wouldn't just
broken.
mess with us. So I think the what he's saying is the rules of the tournament. Maybe the tournament decided we're not going to do the thing. Because how many times does that happen in tennis? We're like, oh shit, they're
That's actually
closing the.
stupider than what I was thinking. I thought maybe like the machine to close the roof was broken, but you're thinking they just decided not to close the roof.
Yeah, well, I mean, how many times does that happen in like one of the majors where it's like, oh, they're closing the roof, huge advantage for player who does better when the court speeds are
Huge
doing
advantage
it.
for fans because tennis is happening. How
Yeah,
about that?
that's the thing too. Like huge advantage for everybody involved because we're actually going to play the game. But I wonder if it's they just decided everything's outdoors. We're not gonna differentiate on that. So, which is silly because I mean, just the differences in courts. Once you get to like this point in the tournament, like the outer courts are playing so much differently anyway than they were a week ago because of how much tennis has been played on them with qualifiers and everything. Like things change. If that's the decision they made, then boo, boo hiss. But we'll figure it out. We'll come back. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll talk some more golf. We'll talk some more basketball. We'll catch you then.